Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, hashtag Walk with Lan. This is Lan. Today, let's talk about something we all use every single day but rarely think about deeply. Ano po ba yun? Of course, the lock of our door. The lock on our door. Sa panahon ngayon, napapansin natin na hindi na lang susi ang ginagamit. May keypad na, may card, may fingerprint, at minsan gamit pa ang cellphone. Okay? These are called electronic locks. And nowadays, they are now common in condominiums, offices, schools, boarding houses, and even small businesses here in the Philippines. But the big question is this: are electronic locks really secure? Or are we just feeling secure? That's what we will answer today using real life examples, simple explanations, and cybersecurity principles that professionals actually use. So before we talk about electronic locks, let us understand first what physical security really means. Physical security is the protection of people, equipment, and information from physical access. This includes doors, locks, guards, fences, CCTVs, and even lightning. Many people think cybersecurity is only about hacking computers. But in reality, the easiest way to attack a system is still through the front door. Oh, hindi na po natin napalitan yung background natin. Political insights, no? So if an attacker can enter the building, for a while, I'm not comfortable with my background. Okay, there you are. I changed my background. Kasi I have several backgrounds. No? Backgrounds for every time I discuss finance and life. Second, I have cybersecurity, this one. And the third one, I have also the political insights. Okay, anyway, many people think cybersecurity is only about hacking computers. But in reality, the easiest way to attack a system is still through the front door. If an attacker can enter the building, they can steal laptops, copy data from USB ports, install malicious devices, access confidential documents. So kahit gaano ka ka-secure ang password mo sa computer, kung bukas ang pinto ng opisina, useless yon. Now, let's compare the traditional locks and electronic locks. Traditional locks use a physical key. Simple lang, familiar, and cheap. But they have problems. Kapag nawala ang susi, kailangan mo magpalit ng buong lock. Yun ang problema. Kapag may nagpakopya ng susi nang hindi mo alam, wala ka ng control. Tama yun, no? At ang pinaka-importante, walang record kung sino ang pumasok at anong oras. Okay? Now, let's look at the electronic locks. Electronic locks use PIN codes, cards, biometrics, or smartphone apps. Instead of one key, you have controlled access. This means you can give different access to different people. Remove access instantly and monitor usage through logs. Yun pa maganda dun no? That's why electronic locks are popular in condos in Makati and BGC, private schools, IT offices, and government buildings. Now, let's now focus on the image you are seeing. Wala tayong image, pero imaginary, no? If we have this keypad-based electronic lock, to open the door, the user enters a numeric code. Once the correct code is entered, the system verifies it. The lock disengages and the door opens. If the code is wrong, the door stays locked. Some advanced models even lock temporarily after several failed attempts. Parang ano, di ba? Parang sa ATM machine. Every time you enter there and then pag tatlong beses mali yung code, ay malalak na siya, makaka-capture na yung ATM card. Ang ano mo lang doon, magpupunta ka sa bangko. Okay? Ayun. If the record the time, no? Meron pa, naka-record pa yung time and user. Usually may camera pa yan, yung iba. Send notification to the owner. So this is no longer just a lock. This is an access control system. Now let's talk about why electronic locks are useful, especially in the Philippine setting. First advantage, no physical keys. Okay? Wow, hindi ka nabibitbit ng susi, di ba? Okay, walang nawawalang susi. Walang, sir, pakopya po ng susi. Walang lock replacement dahil walang nawalang susi. Nawalang key. Di ba? This is perfect for dormitories, for female and male. Di ba? Boarding houses, rental apartments. Second advantage nito, access control. You can assign one code for the admin, one code for the staff, one code for students or tenants. Kapag may umalis na employee or tenant, you simply delete their access. Hindi mo na kailangan magpalit ng lock. Diba? Okay, ang third advantage naman nito ay audit trail or logs. Ayan ang importante. Makikita mo kung sino yung pumasok. O nag-attempt at nag-fail yung kanyang code. Ibig sabihin, baka intruder na yan. No? Some electronic locks keep records of who accessed the door, what time, how often. This is very important for investigations, accountability, security audits. Sa Pilipinas, where insider threats are real, okay, ay talagang ano naman po, no? Okay, now that we understand how electronic locks work and why they are widely used, let's talk about something that many people ignore, human behavior. Because here's the truth, even the most expensive electronic lock can fail if the people using it are careless. In cybersecurity, we always say this, humans are the weakest link in security. And this applies directly to electronic locks. Let me give you a very common scenario here in the Philippines. Imagine an office building. The door uses an electronic keypad lock. One employee enters the PIN. Another employee is standing behind them. The second employee sees the PIN being typed. This is called shoulder surfing. Walang hacking, walang tools, walang computer, just observation. And all of us knows how to observe. And once the PIN is known, the lock is no longer secure. This happens frequently in shared offices, co-working spaces, boarding houses, school laboratories. Another issue is weak PIN codes, parang weak passwords din. Many users choose PINs that are easy to remember. Syempre, human tayo, no? We do not want to remember things, no? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 zeros, birth year, last 4 digits of a phone number. These codes are not secure. In fact, they are the first combinations attackers will try. So kahit electronic ang lock mo, kung weak ang PIN mo, para ka ring nag-iwan ng susi sa pinto. Now, let's talk about power and battery issues, which are very relevant here in the Philippines. Unlike traditional locks, electronic locks need power. Some use batteries, direct electrical connection, or both. What happens during brownouts, long power outages, or low battery situations? If the lock has no proper backup or manual override, you could be locked out, or worse, the lock could fail open. That's why proper configuration and maintenance are critical. Another important risk is social engineering. Social engineering is when attackers manipulate people instead of systems. For example, sir, bagong staff po ko. Naiwan ko lang access card ko. Ma'am, IT po ko. May inaayos lang saglit. If the person inside opens the door without verification, the electronic lock becomes useless. This is very common in offices, schools, government buildings. Security is not just technology, it's behavior and policy. Okay, now let's talk about where electronic locks fit in cybersecurity. Many people think cybersecurity is only about firewalls, antivirus, encryption, but cybersecurity also includes physical access control because once an attacker gets physical access, they can bypass many digital protections. They can install malicious hardware. They can steal unencrypted data. In cybersecurity frameworks, physical security is always part of the defense in depth strategy. That means no single security control is enough. Layers of protections are needed. Electronic locks are just one layer. Let's look at real Philippine use cases. In schools, electronic locks can protect computer labs, no? Secure exam materials, control access to restricted access. In offices, they can limit access to sensitive rooms, track employee entry, prevent unauthorized access. In boarding houses and rentals, they remove the problem of duplicated keys, allow quick access revocation, improve tenant management. But again, technology alone is not enough. So what are the best practices when using electronic locks? First, always use strong PIN codes. Avoid predictable numbers. Change codes regularly. Second, enable auto lock features. Doors should never remain unlocked accidentally. Third, activate logging and monitoring. Logs are important for investigations and accountability. Fourth, conduct user awareness training. People must understand why sharing code is dangerous, why tailgating is a risk, and why verification matters. And finally, combine electronic locks with other controls like CCTV, security guards, proper lighting. At the end of the day, electronic locks are powerful tools, but they are not magic. They improve security, convenience, and control. But if used incorrectly, they give a false sense of safety. In the Philippine setting, where we shared spaces are common and insider threats exist, proper implementation is key. Let me leave you with this thought. Security is not about having the most advanced lock. Security is how well you manage access. A simple system used correctly is more secure than a complex system used carelessly. So if you found this discussion helpful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, hashtag Walk with Lan. Our aim is 100,000 subscribers, and share it with your classmates, colleagues, or friends. Comment down below. Have you experienced issues with electronic locks? Do you trust them more than the traditional locks? Why or why not? Thank you for watching, and remember, true security starts with awareness. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.